What is up, everybody? You know who it is. It is Uncle Greg, and we are right back at it with the Something Out of Nothing live stream number 13. We are covering week 18 in the NFL season. But before I do that, let's give you my top 10 after 17 weeks. And now I'm going to admit, just like more than half of the league kind of mailed it in towards the end of the season, the interest because of how many teams are left competing was dwindling. And I think that's an NFL problem. I think they got to fix that. I know we try to add more games to the season, but I think that's been a little detrimental as far as you have more than half the league fighting for draft position, which means they would rather lose than win. And if it's not the teams, at least the fan bases would rather have a better draft pick because they are aware of how to build their teams. The NFL fan has become more intelligent and understanding, and so that I believe is a little detrimental to the games that are not competitive towards the end of the season, and they can probably do without the 2 weeks that they have added over the last 10, 20 years. So my opinion, let's figure it out. We'll figure this out. I'll get better at that as the time comes, but for now, this is my first season making a top 10, covering the season in full. No excuses, just uh, an area where I know I can be better, and I want to address that. I'm transparent here. We over here being real with everything, and that's why I feel like I could take any comment whenever it comes. But here we go. We got no phone lines in today because I wanted to make these quick. I wanted to shoot these out. I'd rather debate in the comment section. So you guys let me know what you think down there. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you let people know, hey, look at this idiot, man. Or hey, look at he has us ranked, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what's up. Did not go live on Instagram. Hey, Instagram, I know you're just checking in. Forgot to hit that live button for Instagram. Specifically, I am recording live through the YouTube. We've already started. We've already announced that this is the last week of the NFL season. I will be showing you my top 10 and my picks for the week 18 year. Week 18 year. Week 18 season can't even fuck with what I'm saying. Anyways, let's get into these picks of this top 10 and then the top 10, then the picks. Um, Not going much in depth. Didn't leave the phone line to call. I'm just going to shoot these out. We'll debate in the comment section. Like, subscribe, follow. Please do all that. But here we go. So, for my top 10, going after 17 weeks. We need to hide this. All right, here we go. So at number 10, falling down to number 10, might as well add the Denver Broncos. I like their defense. Their offense is a little skeptical, in my opinion, but the defense is the reason why they're sticking around in the top 10 for me. Following that, Chicago Bears suffered an L last week, but I still feel like they're a competitive team. They're going to roll into these playoffs with some confidence, and I think they may be able to make some waves, but we'll see what happens. Following that, we have the Buffalo Bills catching an L last week against the Eagles. I don't know what's going on with Josh Allen and his team. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. I don't know what's going to happen. I believe it's his time to try and win a Super Bowl, but it doesn't seem like he has full reins of control as far as being able to get W's and leading his team to victory. So following that is the team that beat him, the Philadelphia Eagles. Were not in the top 10 last week, but I feel like they're just I don't as far as I don't like watching them play. They think their game is pretty boring. They are ready to compete in these playoffs. They've beaten really good teams over this year. Fell asleep at the wheel, got lulled a little bit, but Philadelphia Eagles, top 10. Following that, another team that I don't trust the offense quite as much as I do the defense, the Houston Texans. I'm not too sure what they'll do in the playoffs, but as far as the regular season, then after 17 weeks, they find themselves at number 6. And at number 5, the Los Angeles Rams. Now, this is unconventional. Why would I say that? Because they lost last week, and I moved them up. And I think, regardless of the loss last week, They are missing Devontae Adams, and with that piece, they are a stellar offense. So I believe he's just nursing the hamstring, and I think he's able to come back. So unconventional, yes, but I still believe the Rams are a lot better than the teams 6 through 10. Um, Next up, the New England Patriots. I know they don't have a really great competitive record, winning 2 games against teams above 500. Most likely going to fold in the playoffs if they face a competitive team, but who knows? I do like the defense. I do like the offense. So I couldn't knock them out the top 5 with their record alone. So number 4, the New England Patriots. At number 3, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, a dark horse of a friend of mine and also of mine as well. I like the way they've been moving ever since they got Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. They've been able to get touchdowns with the receivers. I know Jacoby Myers went on a streak with 3 or 4 games with getting a touchdown this year. So Jaguars looking like a dark horse to me in these playoffs coming up. And at number 2, rising up to the ranked San Francisco 49ers, sitting at 12-4. They've been a really impressive team this year. They've suffered many injuries, and yet they still find ways to win. So they've earned my respect, sitting at number 2 for the after 17 weeks. We have one more ranking next week. It obviously is the last one of the year. So this one, Seattle again, leads the league for me. Top pick. They beat the Rams more recently. They embarrassed them a little bit. Because the Rams could have won those games and they let it slip out of their hands, and it's just not too sure where the Rams are at as far as competing against the Seahawks. I know they split them this season. They split a win and a loss, but I don't know. I know we got Sam Darnold taking on the Seattle Seahawks today, and let's get into my pick for today. So for the first game, we have Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. I have Carolina getting the win today as they've had more consistency with the run game as of late, getting these victories where people didn't think they would. Tampa Bay reeling off a little injuries. I don't think Baker Mayfield will be 100% today. Maybe that motivates them. I don't know, but that's not going to be enough for me to pick them. I got Carolina with the win. Then I have Carolina +3. Following that, a battle for the NFC West, and that is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I think because this is such a high-profile game, it's going to be a standalone. It's going to be a lot riding on Sam Darnold's shoulders. It's a lot of pressure on him, and I know he hasn't done well with pressure in the past, with San Francisco having to deal with injuries and just taking on the pressure and proven they are a well-run organization. I'm picking San Francisco to get this win here, and I'm taking them +2.5. I know they have Seattle favored, but I am not rocking with that. I am rocking with San Francisco getting a dub at home in Santa Clara. Let's finish off. Let's give you Sunday's game as well. Let's just wrap this up for Week 18, and we're shooting these out. New Orleans Saints visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Got the Atlanta Falcons here, taking Atlanta -3.5. Cleveland taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I got Cincinnati getting the win here, but the 7.5 spread a little too much for me. Cleveland +7.5. Following that, we have Green Bay taking on Minnesota. Minnesota played a lot more better lately than Green Bay. J.J. McCarthy's showing his worth a little bit, but it's a little too late. But I still think they get this dub. No, sorry. Green Bay gets this dub. No word. My bad, looking at the wrong line. Minnesota gets a dub for the pick'em, but the 9.5 spread points is too much for me, so I'm taking Green Bay +9.5. Dallas taking on the New York Giants. I got Dallas and Dak on this game. I also got Dallas -3.5. Tennessee taking on Jacksonville. I'm not too sure if Jacksonville is going to have their starters in, as I believe they've locked their position. But I'm taking Jacksonville for the win because Tennessee is just not that great of a team. But 13.5 points is too big for me, so I'm taking Tennessee +13.5. We'll see what happens there. Indianapolis taking on Houston Texans. I got Houston -10.5 plus Houston with the pick. I know that defense is going to make Phillip Rivers wish he stayed retired. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills. I got the Buffalo Bills getting the W here, and the -8 points I'm swallowing as I'm Buffalo there as well. Following that, we have Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. They have Kansas City favored -5.5, so I'm taking that, and I'm taking KC as the win, as the Vegas Raiders are trying to get that number 1 overall pick, and they're showing it on the field like they are. Detroit taking on the Chicago Bears. I got Chicago with the win, and I got Chicago -3. I don't know what's going on with Detroit. They floundered these last few weeks. Could have made the wild card, fumbled that. Following that game, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the LA Chargers. I think Denver Broncos are a better overall team, hence they're not in the top 10. Chargers are not. But I am taking the Chargers +13. That's a big spread for me, so let's see what happens there. Following that, another NFC West matchup, but this one's not for anything other than the Rams trying to stat a W in their W record. Put the W in the stat column. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Anyways, Arizona Cardinals losing to the Rams. I got the Rams in the pick, and I'm taking Rams -8.5. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. I have the New England for the pick, and I'm taking the under 45.5, as I think the spread was a little too much for me. Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia getting the win here. Philadelphia -4. Baltimore taking on Pittsburgh. And to wrap up the AFC North division, I feel like Baltimore's going to get the win, and I'm taking Baltimore -4. So my record for the team picks for 17 weeks is sitting at 179, 89, and 1. Spread total, not so hot, 110, 133, and 6. Last week in week 17, I went 9-7 in the picks and 5-10 in the spreads. Hoping to improve that today. And why isn't this updated? Did we not do this correctly? Let's figure it out. Well, you guys heard my voice. Let's restart capture. There it is. Just needed to restart the capture. Boom. Now you see it. Ain't the prettiest of the lives. We'll do better. I'll try to keep my interests at a high level, although these teams are not trying to. All right, chat.